The 12th habit of exercising for longevity. As a subscriber, you probably know that not every exercise leads to longevity benefits. Not every exercise routine. And we have seen in previous episodes examples of athletes and bodybuilders who actually die sooner or do not get any longevity benefits. I explained more on that in a video that gained right now nearly 1 million views. And then I gave you 11 habits of exercising for longevity. But recently, I watched an interview with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and it was obvious to me that I'm missing something. Let's hear this segment now and see if you get the same light bulb that I had when I listened to the interview, and then get back to the habit.
The biggest and most compelling and most important data point that I sort of learned from wearing my continuous glucose monitor was the effect that my sleep interruption had on both my fasting blood glucose. I could get like what can be considered like pre-diabetic. Like I was like blown away. I was like, this is insane. And the effect lasted at about, I would say like about 48 hours or so. When I did work out, and at the time I was doing a lot of high intensity interval training. It was like an hour-long spin class I used to go to, where they do all this interval training. That it almost completely blunted that effect, where even though I was dog tired, last thing I want to do was go to my damn spin class. I was just like, this is like, I can't, it's going to be bad for me if I go. That's how I felt. Like it's going to be bad for me. But it was completely the opposite, where crazy glucose, dysregulation, and it was almost completely blunted. And it was so profound. And really, that was the thing that for me was like, I have to work out no matter what.
Rhonda said, in the days that we sleep poorly, this is the best time to not give up on exercise and actually do the intense exercise that day. She said that she measured CGM, which is continuous glucose monitor, and she found that exercise was the only antidote that actually managed to reverse completely the impact of bad sleep on blood sugar. So this is fascinating. I didn't know that exercise can do that, to be honest. So here is my experience with measuring my blood sugar. When I measured my blood sugar, two of the biggest surprises that I had to do with stress and bad sleep. I noticed that when I was stressed or when I slept poorly that day, my blood sugar spiked 20 to 25% without eating any sugar. It's a sugar that my body used to make by converting protein into sugar. Now, why is that important, you may ask? Because these increases in blood sugar are really bad for your longevity. You want to keep your blood sugar as low as possible within the limits of healthy, normal range without becoming hypoglycemic. The studies are documenting this phenomenon very well. Keep your blood sugar low and live longer. I don't think there is any debate at this point. So after measuring my blood sugar, I knew that poor sleep wasn't good for my longevity. And my only way to counteract this phenomenon is first, try to sleep better, which is not really possible, especially when life happens. And two, what I tried to do in the days that I did sleep poorly was try to take a nap. But all in all, I was too merciful on my own body because I said, you know what, I didn't sleep well, I won't push my body too hard that day. I was actually afraid of creating too much stress, too much cortisol. I was afraid that poor sleep will increase cortisol, and then intense exercise will increase cortisol as well, but this doesn't seem like the case. So my resistance of applying physical stress on my body in days that I was stressed, quote unquote, because of bad sleep, was a mistake. And I did not have practical step or a practical habit to reduce this blood sugar. Then Rhonda Patrick came. And this is where the insight came from. And today I have another tool, and this is the 12th habit of exercise for longevity. And by the way, on a personal note, everyone has their biggest weakness when it comes to routines for health. Some people have difficulties with taking supplements. Some others have problem with diet. Others with exercise. I have clients who don't like to exercise and have to devise programs with zero exercise for them. My biggest weakness has to do with my sleep. So for me, sleep, which sounds like the easiest thing of all of those tools, actually is the most difficult thing for me. Especially it was difficult in the last 7 months since my wife had a stroke. So for me, I'm stopping with the mercy on my body. When I sleep poorly, I'm going to exercise harder. Let's see if I could follow through with the action, because talk is cheap. So this was the 12th habit of exercise for longevity. If you want to learn more about habits for longevity, I recommend watching the complete guide for exercise for longevity, the 11 habits that you can do today. I'm going to put a link in the description and also at the end of this video.